And you have to remember what Mark Twain said, that is one of my favorites, and that is that when he was younger, he sometimes forgot things, but now that he was older, he remembered everything, whether it happened or not. My family was associated with Beth Israel congregation, and of course Charter Oak Cultural Center was the Beth Israel building. My mother and father were married there. My father was bar mitzvahed there in 1910. I went to Sunday school there, which is what it was called in those days, for 1 year. And then the congregation sold the Charter Oak building, the Beth Israel Temple, to Calvary Church and moved to West Hartford. So I only had 1 year of Sunday school down there. We first heard that a group were trying to save the Charter Oak Avenue building when Jerry and I, my husband and I, were invited to a party at Sandy and Flora Parisky's. I don't know if you know them.
Yes, I do.
They were having a Hanukkah party to tell people, they were relatively new coming to town, and with a group of younger people who had not been in Hartford very long, there was this enthusiasm for what was always called the old Beth Israel, and that nobody much cared about because they had built this big place that was much brighter and lighter on Farmington Avenue. But we went to this Hanukkah party, and then they wanted to meet my mother since she had gone to Sunday school there. And she was very interested. She told them things like my father, who was also in Sunday school at the same time. The bad boys, the naughty boys, used to be put in the boiler room. So we went down and toured the building, which was a wreck at that time. And a lot of her friends said, they weren't interested in that building. It was better to forget it. But my mother really thought it was worth saving. So she came to some events and gave some money and provided some ancient history for them. Apart from the fact that we thought it was a building worth saving, we didn't have very clear idea. We thought it should be a museum of itself and maybe find something useful for the community. And what Donna has done there is simply astonishing. And I think it's quite beautiful now. We used to invite people over just to talk about it. There was really not a lot to talk about because we didn't have, definite plans that it was going to come in and save the world or do good for Hartford. But we did talk about how we thought it was worth saving. But Jerry said he would go on the board, and he did. And he was president of the board, so we would get called, at all unusual times when the alarm would go off that somebody was trying to break in. Most times it was the wind, but the police used to call us. So, oh my gosh, that seems a long time ago now.